Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Ode Shiddiq Hanafi. Okay, talk about the phenomenon of sexual harassment in society. Currently, sexual harassment is very much discussed in Indonesia. Sexual harassment can happen to anyone regardless of place, age or gender. Society has been misinterpreting the form of sexual harassment. They assume that the form of sexual harassment is in the form of lewd act, while behavior such as hanging or groping is a common thing. This causes many victims of sexual harassment to be confused about reporting because they themselves do not know that what they have experienced is an act of harassment. People are just silent and consider it a joke. If this phenomenon continues, there will be more perpetrators of sexual harassment and more victims, and perpetrators will feel that their actions have not been punished. This making the perpetrators become addicted to continue to do so. Why does this sexual harassment phenomenon need to be solved immediately? First, this behavior is very damaging both physically and mentally for the victim. There are many victims of sexual harassment who become depressed, mentally disorders, personality disorders, psychotic disorders, and trauma after experiencing about sexual harassment. This, of course, will cause psychological stress and dissociation of the victim's inability to put things that are actually good for himself. As evidence, a case occurred with a student in Kulon Progo, DIY in 2019. In a news report brought by Kompas.com, a boy with the initial AA suffered from severe depression after being sexually abused by his stepfather for years. Victim often experience psychological trauma that eventually becomes depressed, feel useless, and even wants to kill themselves. And the second, this behavior also has an impact on the social life of the victims. Example include loss of personal life due to being the object of discussion of the surrounding environment, distraction of character, and loss of trust in the people around and the environment. As we know, it is not often that we find victims of sexual harassment who are stigmatized and even ostracized from society and their families. This is the slowest thing to realize, because we often see victims usually isolating themselves, but then society releases a stigma that causes the victims to get worse. As evidence, a case occurred on Thursday, December 2nd, 2021 at the TPU Dusun Sugihan, Mojokerto. A UB student who is pregnant after being raped by her own boyfriend, Max, make her pregnant. She pregnant. Not only did he not receive any accountability from the girlfriend, the victim even to get pressure to get pressure from her boyfriend's family to have an abortion. Unable to stand the constant pressure, she finally decided to commit suicide by drinking poison right in front of his father's grave. This case, and the last, in conclusion, making policies and laws, changing the way people think about sexual harassment and support and motivation are important things needed to overcome the people of the phenomenon of sexual harassment. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.